Peace. What's good? Party people, people. I see yo, Miss Ravioli. Peace. A1 Drizzy. Minnesota in the house. What up, Vic? A1 Drizzy. Peace. Peace. What record thinks? Yes, I was on last night with the one Artie Stacks. Tonight we're doing an interview. Oh shit, I see you, Rabbi. He said, don't say government when your government is shining right above the fucking thing. If you don't want nobody to know your government, you better fucking change that shit, motherfucker. Let's just say Robert Henry, biggest day. Fuck out of here. Xbox, PUBG, what up? Yeah, I'll be on later. At Rock, I see you. The homies in the house. George Dennis said the 5% album. You're goddamn right. Classic. A man said, not a dapper damn fan of stay casual. To rock like the J, you come gradual. You gotta know the ledge, the wise, the dumb. Understand your culture of freedom. Okay, Dakota Wimbush, I hear you. What's good, family? Everybody make sure you click that like button. Helps with the algorithms and all of that. Make sure you share this. Share this live with your people. Let them know we're on right now. Okay, my man Greg Abraham just downloaded last night's show. So you'll be seeing probably some of that tomorrow. We'll be posting some of that. Maestro Fresh West, what's good, King? I see you. My brother, stay in the house. The enemy's public. They really give a damn. He said, I love the Supreme Mathematics joint. Me too. Especially the one with the Supreme Team beat. That's my favorite one. I think that's the first time the fucking beat played to the fucking end and shit. What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the Godcast. As always, you hear Anubis in the background snoring. That's the fucking soundtrack of this fucking show. My name's Lord Jamar. Shout out to my family, Rod Digger, Godfrey, Artie Stacks, Fact Checker Rage. You understand me? Rest in peace, my brother. Yeah. We here. I'm actually waiting for my brother, True Master, Tang Producer, extraordinaire. And he got some things that he wants to discuss with the people. And so, of course, the Godcast is an outlet for such discussions. Who just did that? Let's see. Hold up. Where we at? Okay, Junebug Spade. Peace. The peace, Lord J. Longtime fan. Salute. I appreciate you, Junebug. 1159 in the house. So Wu-Tang forever. If y'all haven't already, go fucking stream everything that 1159 fucking has online right now. Especially fucking Bay of Pigs and 94 Crime Bill produced by myself. But go stream all his fucking shit. Cause his shit is fire. It's Lord Jamar approved. You know, if Lord Jamar co-signs some shit, it gotta be fucking fire. Y'all just remember that. What's good, y'all? They say, where's my baby Rod Digger? Rod Digger is doing a movie right now. She's doing a movie where she's like the lead of the fucking movie. So she has a lot of lines to study and, you know, getting up early and staying up late and, you know. Right now, she ain't got time to be doing her podcast thing, you know. So we're going to respect her space and allow her to be great. And when she's done filming, she will be back. And we love Rod Digger. And that's what it is. He said, oh shit, Maestro Fresh West, Canadian hip-hop royalty. Facts. Oh, the enemy's public is having a whole conversation. He said, I still bump the foundation and fire in the hole to this day. Love that ish. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Speaking of fire in the hole, there's a song on there called Whatever Happened to You, right? And I got that sample from some fucking weird ass record and shit. And I was watching this movie and shit. Might be telling on myself. I'm watching this movie about these ladies that made like music out of electronic sounds and shit. And then like all of a sudden, fucking the shit that I sampled was in this fucking movie and shit. I was like, oh shit. Like, I didn't know who made the shit. Like, I don't be really caring. Like, if the shit is hot, then you know, I don't give a fuck where it comes from. But yeah, that was interesting. So listen, the God is here. We're getting ready to bring him on right about now. My brother, known him for a long time. He got a story to tell. So yeah, we're here to let him tell it. Y'all know him from you know, his illustrious career as a producer with the world famous Wu-Tang Clan. Many hits under the belt scene. Right about now, we're going to bring the God on. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Godcast, True Master. Peace, God.
Peace to the God. Peace to the God.
How you be, God?
I'm good, Lord. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yes, sir. Great to see you, God. Great to have you
too, Lord.
Out here in civilization.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
We go back a long ways, Lord.
A long way, God. Tell them.
The God, I used to sell books in the village. And the God used to come through and get the books. And I told him that I was making beats. At the time, I only had Brooklyn Zoo out. And, you know, I told him I make beats. He said, word. And I said, yo, I did that joint for Old Dirty. He was like, you did that joint for Old Dirty? And I said, yeah, God. And he came to my crib when I was living in my old earth basement.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? To listen to some joints. And actually, one of the joints that you wanted, I guess at the time you didn't really like certain things didn't happen the way you wanted or planned or whatever. But initially, Killer Priest's first single beat, you had picked that beat, God.
Oh, word.
One Step joint.
Oh,
that One Step beat, God. I had put
see, great ears think alike. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You was
yes,
fucking
sir.
with that ASR and shit, right?
Yeah. That's when I was on the ASR.
You had the original joint. I think you said RZA gave you the original joint that they did 36 and all of that on.
Yeah. And most of Method Man album, even Cuban Links, you know, that machine I got is like we call it a family heirloom.
Well, go ahead. Well, go ahead real quick, and why don't you just brag on you know what I mean? Some of the joints that people, you know what I mean, may or may not know that you produced.
First joint was Brooklyn Zoo.
Mm-hmm.
Salute to Dirty, rest in peace, Dirty.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next joint was Fish for Ghostface.
Ooh.
And so you know, I had to represent and Fish was like a good comeback.
Right.
And then we started working on the Wu-Tang Forever album and Kappa's album at the same time. Then RZA permitted me to produce his first solo debut as the RZA, which was a blessing.
Whoa.
Which was the song Tragedy off of the Rhyme and Reason soundtrack. You know, and that was the single with the video. So that was a good look. It was like I was on a nice roll and everybody was showing me so much love. And,
yes.
You know, it was a beautiful thing, Lord.
And I seen you coming up, and you know what I mean? Because like you said, I seen you start when you was still in your old Earth's rest and all of that. Yes, and then to come from that, and now you know what I mean? The God was making big deals, and God talking about, yo, he was talking crazy shit like, yo, I get ready to buy a building or some crazy shit.
Yeah, Lord, I had bought a couple of properties in Harlem, Lord, and I made a killing off of them shits.
Yeah.
And then I had my brownstone, which was the biggest brownstone on that block on 120th, and I had a beautiful host of neighbors on that same block, including Brenda Braxton,
you said 120th,
and Maya Angelou, all lived on the same side as me, on the same block as me, and it was amazing. I remember one time I pulled up to my brownstone. I saw a Rolls Royce in the front, and I'm looking, and then I'm going in the house. The window go down. They said, "That's yours?" I said, "Yeah." And then I looked, and when I looked a little closer, it was actually Ashford and Simpson. And so I was like, "Oh shit, Ashford and Simpson." I said, "Would y'all like to come in and see it? I've been doing a complete restoration. Everything, the wood, the ornamental plaster, everything." And you know, I spent like about $1 million in there restoring that joint. And they came in, and me and Nick got mad cool. He ended up smoking a couple of bones with me. Drank a few bottles of wine.
Yeah.
And then they became good friends. They would just check in on me when they would go see Maya. They invited me to Maya's housewarming.
Wow.
You know, so it was an amazing experience up there. And you know, a lot of hatred from, you know, the police and different, you know, but I had love in the hood.
Right.
You know, all the goons loved me. Everybody loved me up there. So, you know,
recognized real.
Like, yeah, they wanted to hate on me, but they can't stop it. They can't stop the truth, you know?
Right.
So, yeah, Lord.
So, I mean, we can get back to my man, and this is an ill MC. Fish, he 1159. He said Fish was one of the best beats on that album.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
and somebody was talking about Silverback too. He said, "Yeah, peace to True Master. Silverbacks is one of my favorite songs of all time." Thank you, Mad Villain, for your contribution.
Oh, you know what? That's my favorite GZA verse. That verse on Silverbacks. He said something. The total amount of hits behind the collapsed building that had exploded in a frenzy of killings. Bodies laid near tons of twisted metal of a structure from atomic force hit level. From the tail of the tape, the product fell in comparison. The weight, yo, he just, you know, just is crazy with it. So, Yeah, he went in hard on that one, G.
Oh shit! Probably one of my favorite RZA verses is fucking you ain't shit. You ain't shit. Fucking when we fuck on the weekends, we fuck for like 2 hours. Like
Yeah, that was a hard joint right there. That
yo, he went crazy. If you want to be a nurse, you gotta go to school first.
Yeah, that was crazy, man. Domestic
Yo.
violence. That's called
domestic violence. That's one of my favorite RZA joints. I know it's negative, but god damn it, I love the energy.
Yeah, I love it too. I love it too. I'm there for it too, Lord.
So God, we could get back to the music, but let's talk about why you really wanted to come here. Recently, you were in the headlines, you know.
Yeah, we just
Basically
filed a
talking
major
about
lawsuit against New York City.
Let's talk about that. For
Benjamin
wrongful
Crump.
imprisonment, is that what the lawsuit is for?
Yeah, it's for the, you know, for them playing with my life for I was locked up for 4 years on some bogus shit.
Right.
Then I came home and they knew the case was nothing, but they kept it open for another 4 years. You know, and it's just it's unbelievable corruption involved with my case, and it's just even every day I'm learning more things. Today I learned more things, and so you know we're refining the strategy. We're learning new things about the officer and what he's done to other people. And so we're demanding that he be fired immediately as per the rules of conduct of the NYPD. It requires an officer to be immediately terminated with no possibility of disciplinary action because he's lied in an arrest complaint and or lied under oath before a criminal or civil jury. And he's done that multiple times in my case. One example is when he arrested me for the bogus attempted sexual assault case.
That's what your original charge is, right?
Huh?
That's your original charge.
The original charge, the original charge was attempted rape. I'll give you all the charges.
Right.
It was attempted rape in the first degree. It was sodomy in the first degree. It was unlawful imprisonment in the first degree. It was assault in the second degree and assault in the third degree and sexual abuse in the first degree. That's a lot of shit for somebody to beat all of that. Representing themselves with no experience, Lord. I mean, oh, also, I want to let you know, I went back to school and I'm scheduled to graduate with my bachelor's degree in the beginning of next month, April.
Congratulations, God.
Criminal justice. So,
criminal justice. All right.
Indeed, so Lord, I might as well, you know. It's like y'all, if y'all want to dance, I'm gonna dance with y'all now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So you represented yourself. You didn't have a lawyer. You represented yourself.
Well, I wouldn't have done it without professional advisory counsel. And you always have that right too. If you want to represent yourself, you still can have an advisor as well.
Right. Who is, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not like you got to be out there by yourself. And the court is supposed to afford you certain considerations because you're, you know, you're a layman in the eyes of the law.
Now, what do you think the pros are to representing yourself? Because I know a lot of people are scared of that. A lot of people feel like that's not something because they always say, oh, if you're your own lawyer, you got a fool for a client.
You got a fool for a client.
Right. But that's to shy you away from the shit. I believe
that's to dissuade you from
giving away
your constitutional right.
Thank you.
And oftentimes, we as, you know, as original people, we have to deal with all of the disparities and racism in the system. And so for me, I felt like if I'm being accused of something so serious, I'm not putting my life in the hands of anyone at this point. I have to represent myself. I know it's a conspiracy to destroy me. I would have felt bugged out if I would have got, plus I was facing the rest of my life in jail. So I said, I wouldn't be able to rest knowing that I lost and someone else was at the helm. You know what I mean? So
Facts.
I started studying, and I always had an interest in the law. And so it was interesting for me. It still is. I still study the law. As you know, as I said, I'm about to graduate with my degree, my bachelor's in criminal justice. I'm going to take the summer and the spring and summer semesters off, and I'll be going to law school in the fall. And I only have to do 1 year of law school before I'll be eligible to take the bar exam. So
wow, congratulations.
yeah,
That's beautiful.
thank you.
Yeah, people got to understand that, you know, you're putting the power in someone's hands. You're giving away your constitutional rights whenever you assign someone to be a lawyer for you, you know. So I definitely commend you for not falling into that trap.
No
And
doubt. And also, Lord, I had to hire and fire about 8 lawyers.
mm,
Advisory law, because they was all full of shit. And they would join in the conspiracy.
right. And see, and that's what's crazy too. It seems like a lot of times these lawyers, they're working with the system.
Well, what they do is they help the system by not necessarily a direct help, but an indirectly by like maybe omitting certain things or not telling you certain things that you can do, which would later be deemed either ineffective assistance or what's the other word? Ineffective or damn, okay, it escapes me right now. But you know, it's if you have ineffective counsel, that can be grounds for another trial if you can demonstrate that your lawyer didn't do basic things, you know, fundamental things that he's supposed to have done. So
Right.
Inadequate, ineffective or inadequate.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So assistance and counsel. And so, you know, they do shit by like I would be saying, yo, what's this? And they wouldn't know that I already did the research and know what I'm asking them, but I'm testing them. So when I would see that they would be, you know, trying to dodge the issue and get around the instead of getting directly to it or just flat out lie, then I would go, okay, I got to get rid of this person. But unfortunately, I would have already given them a retainer. And now I'm out of some money and and that's why it takes money to fight these things as well, man. And people don't have these things. And that's why I started a nonprofit. It's called
They price you
Defenders.
out of justice. They price you out of a lot of things.
They price you out of even bail. Bail, you know, is a rich person's privilege, you know, and it's a poor person's burden. And like Khalif Browder was in there for 3 years waiting for a misdemeanor, which you can only be sentenced to a maximum of a year for. And so that's why they created the Khalif Browder law and got rid of bail for misdemeanors altogether, because no one should be forced to stay in jail for an alleged misdemeanor unless they're a predicate felon, extremely violent or something like that. And even you really can't get sentenced a year for a misdemeanor unless you're like that. They give you a couple of months or something. They can't give you a year. You know,
right?
That's the worst that could happen with a misdemeanor. So, you know, bail. That's why, you know, in Jersey, I didn't know in Jersey I think they don't even have bail for felonies too.
You might be right.
So my friend Eric Gonzalez, who's the Brooklyn district attorney, he's one of the dudes I grew up with on my block, and with Alpha Raw, and I'm live right across the street. All of us grew up on the same block, and now he's the DA of Brooklyn. You know, very good friend of mine. But Cyrus Vance, he had the team in there putting work in on us, bro. They were corrupt as it gets. But what they did was they let me come in there, peep out the whole system, and now I know the inner workings. I know who's who. I know how things is done, and that's why, you know, I think, you know, I went through that so I could learn and then help somebody, because there's no other reason why, you know, I could have even, you know, went through all of that.
Let me just say for the record that when I first heard these allegations that were coming against you, I'm like, this don't sound like the true master I know.
Yeah, nah, God, it's not even in my
Like,
Lord. Let me tell
I'm
you something,
like,
Lord.
what?
Yo,
I'm
Lord, I
like,
got
huh?
wizards that'll tell
Like,
you
like,
they Lord, pardon me. I got wizards that'll tell you they offered me their virginity. Multiple. And I turned it down and told them save it for your husband. Word is bond.
I believe it, God.
You
I
know,
believe you.
very successful, prominent women. I mean, come on, man. That's not me at all, Lord. And that's why, you know, I knew I was like, there's no way that I'm accepting this. Y'all got to get the hell out of here with that. I was able to get phone calls because they were recording my phone calls trying to find something incriminating, and they had to turn over the phone calls to me at the end of the day. So I got almost a year's worth of phone calls. And if you hear me talking to people, whether it be Rizm or B, Premier, whomever, you'll hear me in good spirits talking about when I get the hell out of here. Because I was never like, I was never like thinking that was going to be my end. You know what I'm saying? And I knew that as long as I'm at the helm, I'm going to be able to figure this out. You know, so it was crazy, Lord. They actually did the unthinkable. They literally made me pay to get the rape kit tested. You ever heard of that?
Wow.
They made me pay to get other evidence tested outside of the rape kit. And then I found out evidence was being hidden. But the main thing I want to focus on is the officer. You know, with Ben Crump, as Ben Crump is a marksman with civil rights, and you know, like I said, I'm fortunate to have him. And our strategy is to focus on this officer, because once you hear all the stuff he did, you will agree he has to go immediately. And actually, they have to let him go, and they're trying to avoid it. They're trying to avoid the inevitable. And so, you know, after we get rid of him, then we're going to focus on the prosecutors a little more and all the stuff they did, like making me pay for evidence and all kind of nonsense. But what he did when he arrested me, he threw another alleged crime that wasn't an alleged sexual anything. It was just an alleged assault. And he put it in the complaint, and he stated that another officer who arrived on the scene told him I was positively identified for that crime. Now, this officer who he said told him I was positively identified was a black female officer named Officer Hankerson.
And she's like, I ain't never say that shit.
Huh?
And she said, I ain't never say that shit.
She said, and I don't know why he would use me to accuse you or something like
right.
that. You understand?
Because I don't even fuck with him like that.
Lord, see?
You know what I mean?
Yo, Lord,
I don't know why he used me. Fuck you, use her.
You know what, Lord? It's like
I never liked him.
This is what racists do.
I'm surprised he used me.
They like to use black people against black people. And then
speak on it, God.
And what they do in the police department, since it's supposed to be such a close-knit, they just assume that I can run roughshod over him and criminalize him, and I'll use her. You understand? So what she did, she fucked him up, because when she told the truth, the whole court had to immediately stop every damn thing. Tell the jury, y'all go out. Let's convene over here. The judge is like, look, we can't be talking about this. This is too much for this trial, because the trial is an alleged sexual assault trial. Let's not stray on this other thing. And this is going to, you know, which he wasn't supposed to do, but that's what they try to do. Now, and this is how that whole thing came about. You know how a lot of cop cars arrive at one scene when they get something on the radio and they ain't doing nothing. So they came, it was her and another black officer. So it was two black people in that car. And they was like, yo, we was in this area earlier, and we spoke to a girl that was assaulted across the street in the park. And then he asked her, and she said this, well, could they identify the person? And she said, nah, they just said it was a tall black man. So once he heard that, he figured, well, we could just throw that in there, and, you know. And I guess, you know, like I said, they feel like if you cross the thin blue line, then everybody gonna hate you on the job. But she was like, fuck that. I'm not going along with this one.
Let's not cross that fucking black line. How about that, people? How about that thick black line, motherfuckers?
Talk to him, Lord. Talk
Fuck
to
the
him.
thin blue line. Let's get that thick black line.
Now, so also from the very beginning, like within 2 months, they only did the main test of the so-called rape kit for the most serious allegation, which was the sodomy charge. Now, once they did the test for that and they saw that I didn't do it, they said, we can't finish testing this rape kit because
it's gonna blow our whole shit.
So let's just try to keep him in jail and play with the time. Don't bring him out to court appearances. Play with the time and keep offering him plea deals because he's not a felony. He's not a felon. So technically, felony sentencing doesn't apply to him. We can use our discretion to offer him whatever we want. Tell him you can go home tomorrow and just say you did it. And I'm like, no way in hell. So, and also the crazy part, Lord, they set me up with the bogus escape charge. Now, I don't know if you heard about the escape charge. You heard about that?
I don't think so. No.
Okay. This is how they plan to keep me in there. Once
we gotta get into all this because you did 4 years, God, culture years,
4 years on Rikers Island, Lord, and you know,
on the island, they didn't even send you upstate.
No, because they
you
tried
wasn't
to throw me
sentenced
inside a
to
mental
nothing.
hospital. They tried to throw me in a mental hospital for a short time, pretending that I had confessed to the crime, Lord. It's great. They had psychologists I never talked to said I confessed to the crime that scientific evidence disproved. This is how extremely corrupt this system is. And
I tell my people every day, don't you trust the devil's science.
Listen, y'all.
Okay, that's why we in some bullshit right now.
Let me tell you what they did.
Trust the devil's science.
You got to be very, very. See, my case should be studied by everyone, especially brothers in the hip hop community, because it can show you how deep it can get and show you how to navigate through it. Now, what they did was, once they saw that they granted me bail because I never had no felonies or nothing, they wanted to keep me in jail. So they created this fake escape case. They alleged I had escaped the Manhattan Criminal Court building. And they alleged they didn't know when, where, or how I did it.
Wait, so you escaped and then came back? Like what the? How did you escape and then still you were still there?
This is what they did. They knew I could make bail, so they told me I was bailed out, and they escorted me out, and knew I would go right home.
What?
That's how they did me, Lord.
No.
Now, as soon as I got arrested,
whoa, hang on. This is some movie shit right here. Hold up, right there.
It's gonna be a movie.
Slow the fuck down.
Lord,
hang on. They told you was bailed out. And they said, go ahead, leave.
Of the building
so that
through four guarded gates on camera.
God.
I'd go right home.
Thinking you good money.
As soon as I got home. Now, it was so crazy. As soon as I said, yo, matter of fact,
I don't know why I'm surprised, God. I don't even know why, because the devil is a motherfucker, but that's fucking crazy.
Lord, but you see, when somebody is doing doublishment like that, they always got a whole bunch of holes in it. For one, there's cameras everywhere in the Manhattan Criminal Court building. Now, as soon as they alleged that, I said, yo, there's cameras. Give me the video footage. I ain't escaped no goddamn custody. You can't escape. What they had to do was refuse to give me the video footage for 4 years, guys.
Wow.
And then when they gave it to me, they had doctored the footage and removed me getting, so you could see the time signature. Thankfully, all those videos have time signature. So we knew during the trial that the video was doctored. I could easily demonstrate that. Even the judge said, this is crazy. He said, this is, yes, Lord, like that. Now,
wait, when they released you, did they give you paperwork or some shit? Or they was just like, yeah, you bailed out. Go ahead.
They don't, when you get bailed out, they don't give you nothing. Now, here's the killer part, Lord, because it gets deeper. When they told me I was bailed out, they escorted me out, a captain, right? A white captain of corrections escorted me out. I go home. I get on the train. I go home. There's a cop car in front of my house guarding this so-called crime scene. They have to stay there. Plus, they assured me that they would stay there because they had broke down my door to arrest me and breached my threshold. So they had to wait till my family could put, another lock on the door. So when I get there, the cops are in front of the house. I say, what's up? They say, what's up to me? And I go in the house, I freshen up because I've been in Central Brook, and I go out, I go to listen to some jazz and Lennox Lounge for a minute, get a drink, smoke a bone, come back. They see me go back in the house, go up, get in my bed, and then they wake me up around about 5 o'clock, talking about, he's like, Mr. Harris, they said you escaped custody, come downstairs. He's banging on the door. Now, this is the crazy part, Lord. He wrote the original arrest complaint for the alleged escape, and he stated, Mr. Harris was observed going in his house through the front. And then I later got a call that he had escaped custody, and I told my supervisor, he's right in his house. And that's when he was told to effect an arrest. Now, his complaint, because it casted kind of doubt, like, why would he, if he escaped, why he go in the house right in front of the cops?
Right.
So they had to get rid of his complaint and create another one after I was already arraigned that said I was apprehended climbing my backyard fence. So he came to the trial and testified that it didn't appear to him that I had it looked like I escaped because I walked in the house right in front of him. Of course, the prosecutor tried to object to those kind of statements, but they had to stand. It was overruled. And of course, the video footage was the nail in the coffin, especially since I had been, and I had to force them. I had to figure out a way to force them to have a trial. I used the habeas corpus. Because actually at my first arraignment in the Supreme Court, I was granted bail again, even with the escape case. So they used a corrupt judge to put an illegal remand on me because I had already been given bail in the Supreme Court when I found out that one Supreme Court judge cannot overrule another Supreme Court judge's order, especially a bail order. That's an automatic habeas corpus.
And what is habeas corpus for those that
habeas corpus? It means I have the body, and it's actually a civil action that can be used in a criminal action to obtain your release. It's like there are certain grounds that in the habeas corpus statute already listed as essential grounds. Like bail. If one judge grants you bail, no other judge can say you can't have bail because they are concurrent jurisdiction. They're equal. Only the appellate court can overrule orders from the trial courts. Another trial judge cannot supersede another trial judge's order.
And that's what they were trying to do in your case.
Yeah, and when they found out that I had realized that, I said, "Yo, this judge is keeping me in here." He put a remand after I was already given bail in Supreme Court after I was indicted. They was like, we got to rush to a goddamn trial now. Because you get ready to get out of jail free and probably get the case dismissed without a trial. So they rushed to a trial, and that's when I found out that they had not tested for none of the other charges. And, you know, so basically they had never finished the investigation. How are you going to have a trial without finishing the investigation?
Mm.
See, a prosecutor has absolute immunity. That's why they feel they could do anything. However, they only have qualified immunity during the investigative phase. So if they start doing too much shit during the investigative phase, that's where the kink in the armor is at. That's why we were able to bring an action against the prosecutors too. Because there are precedents for making a prosecutor a party to a civil action when they have absolute immunity. You got to show more than one Brady violation or more than one time that they withheld or that they hid evidence. If a prosecutor hides evidence of your innocence, that's still not enough to breach their armor. They still immune. You got to show a pattern of that.
Right. It's just like when you so like when you're driving, right, on the street, right, and your car, if you hit a pothole, right, and it fucks your car up, you're not going to automatically get money off of that. That pothole had to be reported by someone else. And then the Department of Transportation had to ignore the prior, being flagged about it. Then you can get paid. But if you're the first one to come and hit that pothole and you're the first one to tell them, you don't get no money. So it reminds me of a similar type of situation.
Yeah, it does work like that. It works just like that, Lord. That's another. There are three basic ways. One, they have to do a pattern of Brady violations or a pattern, at least if they do two, they got to do like three. You got to have at least three Brady violations or Brady style type violations, or there has to be something that was officially announced by the municipality, like New York City, saying, prosecutors, y'all cannot do this. And then once it's said and they've been put on notice, like you kind of said, that also can serve as, like, for example, forcing me to be tried without the rape kit being tested and all the evidence. That was something that was big when Obama was in, getting rid of the rape kit backlog. There were over 400,000 untested rape kits in the United States when Obama was in office. And Cyrus Vance alleged that he was the first place in the country to get rid of them, and that's why they awarded him to be in charge of all of the money to disperse to the other places to pay for the. So he had all this money to pay for this shit, and they made me pay for it still. You know, it was just an attempt to dehumanize me and break my spirits, or just keep pushing. But it was nothing they really could do, and they knew, They knew I was innocent from about a couple of months in.
So why did it take 4 years?
Because, Lord, when you have any kind of notoriety, they look at you like they got a hard on for you or something. They'll do this to all black people. They do this to black people every day. But when you get somebody, with a little notoriety, a little bit of, I got brownstone, this and that, and they don't want you to have shit. So they want to hold you in there because they know keeping you in there can do a number of things. It can get you abused, break your spirits. Oftentimes people take guilty pleas because they've been in jail and they're scared because if they blow trial, they could be in there for the rest of then they make a mistake. And some wrongful convictions are figured out after a person has taken a guilty plea. Just out of fear. And oftentimes it's from being in jail, not being able to afford bail or something like that. Now, I could afford bail. For example, this is how crazy it is, right? When I first got arrested, my bail was $250,000, right? After the trial, when they had to give me bail again, they doubled it to $500,000. And of course, I got right out. So, I would have... You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on. As soon as I got in there, everybody was like, yo, I got your back. Rizzo, like, yo, God, where do I send the money?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like they just wanted to keep me in there, Lord. Just hold me in there. And, Fortunately, I was able to beat everything. Now, here's another thing. I didn't know that the girl was saying she didn't know me. So after 4 years, when I finally got the grand jury minutes right before trial, I said, hold up. Let me subpoena my phone records. She committed material perjury. She said she didn't know me before this. I could show her calling me every day, pursuing me, but I'm just trying to be nice because I met her through Tammy Ford. Remember Tammy Ford?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Tammy,
remember.
after I had let Damon Dash rent my brownstone to do his reality show with BET. And afterwards, Tammy threw a big party at the brownstone for me moving back in. And that's when I met her. You know, I was with my fiance. As a matter of fact, my fiance and the girl got into something. My mom's was there and everything. My mom's remembered the girl from when she had gotten into the shit with my fiance. Talking about she could live. She was like, "Oh, I could live in here," you know. And she was like, "No, you couldn't." And then girls get so that's how that.
No, the fuck
So
you can't.
after
The
that,
fuck you talking about?
so
I live here.
Yeah, Lord, she was extra, and she really is not she's an unattractive woman. And when Tammy told me that she kept saying she liked me, Tammy told me, "Don't fuck with this broad. She's," you know what I'm saying?
Right.
She was like, "Look, we in the industry, we got to be nice to people, but this girl, bonkers." And so they wouldn't let me get the phone records. They said, "You're gonna have to get them and use them on appeal. Like you're gonna have to get convicted, nigga. Then you can go get the phone record." So Hakeem Green came to the first day of trial, and he saw me questioning the girl because I'm representing myself, and she keeps denying that she don't know me, that she never used to drive me around for gas money and shit like that. Because she also at one point was supposed to have been working for Foxy Brown as a driver. So I would give us, sometimes some money, drive me around. My license was messed up at the time. And so, but I definitely wasn't going to touch her. For one, she's unattractive. And number two, the person who introduced me to her was like,
right. The drop is already in. They let you know what time it was.
Yeah, they let me know what time it was. So now I can't get the phone records. But when Hakeem tells Tammy that me and the girl was going back and forth about her lying that she didn't know me at all, right? Tammy was like, "Oh my goodness." I introduced him to her, and she's saying she never was pursuing him and all of this stuff. Yo, she asked Hakeem for my mother number, called my mother the night of after the first day of trial, and told my mother, "Yo, I want to come help your son." So basically, Tammy came and provided testimony in the same vein as what I was going to use the phone records for. Like, this girl's lying.
Right.
And she used to be, this girl used to be sweating me hard, Lord. So now Tammy comes in and starts telling the truth. And the prosecutor, of course, got to denigrate her and say I was paying her to come do all this and that. And so I was found not guilty of, after trial, I was found not guilty of the most serious charge, sodomy, because they've been had evidence. That was the only test they did. Matter of fact, they were supposed to dismiss that count after that test 4 years prior.
Now, to be clear, when they say sodomy, that meaning you went in her mouth or you went in her ass? What are they trying to say?
Well, yeah, it could be either or. They said I went in her mouth.
Okay.
Now, to me, this whole thing was so stupidly put together. Like, it's like if you're going to lie on somebody, try to think it through. Because what she did, she said that I forced her to perform oral sex on me and that I came in her mouth and that she spit all of the cum out all over herself. Now, soon as she said that, in the hospital, they taking a rape kit, they was like, "Okay, take off all your clothes." Give me that. We got to test these clothes for
Right.
DNA, semen, and saliva, none of which were found on the garments. And of course, they swabbed them out. Nothing in there. Just this bullshit. So, now once this is where I was able to, once I was able to prove that, or have Tammy testify that she was lying about not knowing me, that cast doubt on her whole story about how she got into the brownstone in the first place, saying that she thought it was an open house and that the house was for sale because the door was open and there wasn't a sign on it. None of that shit existed, y'all. This is the most bizarre story I've ever heard. So, you know, she said once I was able to, you know, have Tammy come in there and take the win out the sales of the prosecutors. But then later, I was able, after the trial, to get the phone records and prove that Tammy was telling the truth. You see what I'm saying? But that was a mission because T-Mobile joined the conspiracy. After the trial, I submit the subpoena to T-Mobile to get the phone records. You know that they falsely responded and said, we don't have subscriber information for the target number because it's a prepaid number, which is true. They don't keep prepaid numbers, they don't keep subscriber information for prepaid numbers. But they was lying. And because I had been through so much shit, I felt like, yo, something ain't right. So I went to the hood. I went to Brownsville and I started talking to somebody in the T-Mobile store like, yo, I need some help. You know, I want you to check out something. They was like, nah, you got ID? I said, nah, just do me a favor. Just let me know if this number is a prepaid number or it's just a regular number where you got the subscriber information. And once the dude told me that he did have the subscriber, I said, damn, the fucking legal department lied. So now I gotta figure out how to extract the information. So I tell the dude, yo, can you help me? As he said, nah. I said, well, look, if I tell you the address, will you tell me if it's right? So he said, all right. And I told him her address. Then I said, okay. I said, then I asked him, how could I document this? This is real important. He said, call customer service and tell them the same thing you told me. That's a good idea. Say you just want to verify the address. And if you say it, will they tell you if it's right and record the phone call? That's the kind of detective work I had to do. And this is why, Lord, like I say, you know, it's ways, you know, if you're really innocent, Lord, you can figure it out. And that's why I want to encourage people to represent themselves, especially when you know you ain't do it and you got any doubts, and start studying the law. You know what I'm saying? So I was able to get a supervisor from T-Mobile on the phone, recorded, telling me, verifying the address. That's when I called my lawyer. We called T-Mobile legal department, screaming on them. Fuck y'all doing, lying. But see, T-Mobile's legal department is regularly in contact with the prosecutors. So when they see a subpoena coming in for a criminal case, they're going to call their people up. Yo, we got guy Derek Harris, New York State versus Derek Harris, wanting some phone records, because prosecutors always get phone records. Tell them that's a house wiles with T-Mobile do something like that. And then when we called T-Mobile with my lawyer, we found out that in their records, it looked like we were provided with the subscriber information. You get it? So the dude was like, I see right here when it says your legal advisor was emailed the phone records with the subscriber information. So you see it be people on the inside, certain people that do it's deep out here, Lord. It gets deep.
Wow.
It's very, very, very extreme, Lord. And All praises is due that I'm standing here. I have a great legal team. I'm very confident in them. And I know we're gonna get justice. We're gonna get it. And every day I keep learning about this officer. Now let me tell you about another thing the officer did. Not only did he knowingly commit perjury in the criminal complaint, he committed.
Are you allowed to
perjury
say
in
the piece of shit's name, or you can't say the motherfucker name?
Oh yeah, Officer Pabon, who today I found out almost killed a little black boy. So we got to get rid of him, y'all. Y'all got to sign a petition and get this guy off the streets. I didn't know he almost killed a little black boy. I look back and I see a big thing with Al Sharpton representing the people's family, and they're demanding that this officer be fired about 5 years ago. He picked up a little black boy and threw him through the glass window of a hookah shop. Almost killed him. Look it up. I didn't know that till today. So as you can see, this dude is out of control. But let me tell you about
Spanish dude or a white dude?
Huh?
He's Spanish or white?
I thought he was white. I thought he looks like a white dude, but come to find out, he does have Hispanic,
Spanish,
I guess.
yeah.
You know. But yeah, Lord, he's something else. Now, let me tell you about the search warrant application. So you can't bolster a search warrant application. Like we expect to find this, and this just to make it look good to get approved. He alleged he was going to find blood and semen in my house and all kind of crazy shit, which of course wasn't there. But the main thing is he said his search warrant application was based on conversations he had with me. And I never had no conversations with him. So what he also did was imply that I had somehow incriminated myself while talking to him. So I got him on the stand and I tricked him. I said, yo, isn't it true that we never had no conversations? He said, yeah, we never had no conversations. I said, isn't it true that I basically refused to speak to all of your colleagues when I was arrested? He said, yeah, you was protesting the arrest. You refused to give your fingerprints. You know what I'm saying? And that's why we had our protocols to take you to see a psychiatrist if you refuse your prints to see if you're okay, mentally sound. Of course, I was found mentally sound, but I never spoke to anyone. So I said, well, if you never spoke to me, why does your search warrant application say it's based on conversations you had with me? And he was shocked, like, you know, it doesn't say that. Okay, here it is right here. Here's your search warrant application. Is this not your search warrant? Yes, that's my. Read it. That's when he said, I didn't write this. You didn't write that? Who wrote it? The prosecutor wrote it. Oh, really? But it says, first of all, a search warrant application has to be written by this officer who subscribes it. You understand? It has to be. It says, I signed this under penalty of perjury. That's what the officer signed. I signed this under penalty. And my cousin is a detective who retired last year from the NYPD. He told me it's impossible for a prosecutor to write your search warrant application. In fact, they ask you things like, is this the correct badge number for you? Have you read this? Is this to your, the best of your knowledge? And then you sign it. And of course, the prosecutor is not now going to say, yeah, I wrote that. They're going to make him eat that. But that's another example of why he has to be removed. Now, let me get to another lie. I got him on the stand. And I'm like, yo, isn't it true that y'all brutalized me? When y'all was arresting me, I was in handcuffs. These niggas just pounding on me. He's like, nah, we didn't assault you. So I said, have you ever been accused of or found guilty of unnecessary use of force? And the prosecutor objected. The judge said, overruled, you must answer the question. Have you ever been accused of or found guilty of unreasonable or unnecessary use of force? He said, well, somebody accused me, but it was never decided. Now, he was talking about the little kid he almost killed. And yes, he was had already been found guilty of that and suspended for that. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I was in jail, so I really couldn't see the coverage of it or have access to really figuring out that he was lying. But he lied right there again to mislead the court and the judge. So he's a piece of shit. Also, he hid the fingerprint evidence. The police collected fingerprint evidence, or evidence to be tested for fingerprints, which wasn't part of the rape kit. And when he got the report, he hid it. So when I was tried, the prosecutor said we never did the fingerprint test, but they was in on it with him too, I believe. So he come to find out, when I demand that that the fingerprint testing be done, the lab I send it to calls me immediately and said, this thing already been tested for your fingerprints. I said, how can you tell? He said, because latent prints, whenever you test something for latent prints, you leave a permanent invisible glue on it. Because the process for latent prints is you have to put the glue, a certain industry standard glue, over the print area where you see the latent prints. Then you put it in a chromatography gas chamber, which sucks. It's a suction thing, and it sucks the glue up off the glass or the object into a three-dimensional image, and then you can put tape on it and take the prints off. So the glue was on there. It had already been through the process of being in a chromatography vacuum. And so they were able to give me a report, not only stating that my prints was not on there, but also stating that it was proof that it had been tested already. So that was another example of, withholding exculpatory evidence or trying to hide a test that would disprove these things. So you see how crazy it is?
This shit
Lord,
is
it's very extensive. It was a long road, you know what I'm saying? But they fucked with the wrong one this time. And I'm just thankful.
I mean, it sounds like you got a lot of shit, in your favor where you should be able to,
Oh Lord, this is why I said I know I'm going to be victorious. This is the victory year. This is wisdom right here.
You understand? God, true indeed.
So we going, and it so it borns equality too. So it's like they got to come up. It's going down, Lord. It's mathematics, Lord. There's no way to stop the God. True and living. There's no way. It's like it's futile. You gonna fuck around and hurt yourself. That's all they doing now is hurting themselves and exposing themselves for who they are. So you see how like the DA with the Central Park 5, how everything crumbled around her once everybody really knew how corrupt she was. When people start seeing all the names flying, and yeah, y'all can leave because we got a black DA now. And you can't do your corruption in there. But I'm going to expose everybody that was in on this shit. Just so everybody can know. And that's another reason why y'all need to check when I start doing, when we start really going in on who's who and what's what. You have to pay attention so you don't mess with the wrong people. And not just, I'm talking about also the lawyers. All these lawyers I had to hire and fire.
Right.
You understand? Some black too. It's an unethical in crowd. So-called,
Facts.
Yeah, Lord. So it's a lot with it, but like I said, all praises is due. Main thing, they knew I was innocent all along, and they was trying to do everything in their power to keep me in there so that they could try to coerce me into taking a guilty plea.
How long you been home for, God?
I've been home since November of 2015.
Okay.
So it's going on 7 years. However, they didn't leave me alone, God, until 2020 when the COVID started. And they didn't have anything. And they knew that the officer lied because it was like, what in the world are you holding this case open for? We still thinking about it. Like, I don't know if they was thinking maybe he'll get in more trouble or something. You know, it didn't make no sense until I was like, look, if y'all gonna let's have the trial. I'm gonna have fun now. Because during that time, now I done paid for the other tests to disprove the sexual abuse charge. Now I got phone records, no unlawful imprisonment charge. There never was any evidence of an assault. And this is why I don't know how you're able, even though the law tells you that assault must meet certain sufficiency requirements, they was ignoring all of that and just charging me with shit. The medical report says we can't detect any injuries on this person. They did all kind of x-rays, examined her vagina and all that. Nothing, no trauma, nowhere, nothing.
Mm.
So, of course, that's the only way you can beat all of that shit. So people should be saying, well, wow, the guard beat all that. They was really trying to go at him with some serious bullshit. So, this is why it's very important. Everybody signed a petition to get this officer out of here because they must. Now, here's I'm gonna end it on this about the officer. Then we can talk about.
So you already have this petition in effect?
I got the petition in effect. I'm gonna give you the link so you can put it in the description. Okay. Now, here is something I just requested today, which is from 2000. Another copy. This is from 2019, and this is when I had the Civilian Complaint Review Board, CCRB, filed a complaint with Internal Affairs about the officer and all the lying he did. And of course, they could never respond to nothing like this. They can't even investigate it because it's open. It's no investigation. One officer says, you lied. You lied. You used my name falsely to lie on this man. There's no, what's the investigation? And that's just one example of one of the many reasons that each could stand on its own as a grounds for him to be fired because it's part of their own policy. So right now, you're supposed to be able to look up his name and see this complaint. You can't see this complaint when you look up his name because it's impossible to put it. Why isn't this over with? So this is why it's a good thing I got Crump and them, because this is the type of stuff that they can't run from. Why isn't this? Why was this? Says the Internal Affairs Bureau will contact you shortly to start the investigation. This is over 2.5 years ago. They can't because the officer must be fired. You know, but they reward bad behavior. After he was found guilty of almost killing the young black kid, they promoted him to sergeant. Promoted him to sergeant after that.
Of course.
So, Lord, it's crazy. However, we are in a social and criminal justice reform era right now, age, so to speak, where you seeing, look, you got the DA from the Ahmaud Arbery case about to be tried for not bringing charges. Never thought you would see that. You got 2 white guys who killed Ahmaud Arbery already in life with no possibility of parole, still being tried for a hate crime on top of that in the federal courts. You know, we're seeing a lot of changes, but these officers have patterns. That's why Derek Chauvin, who did that to George Floyd, he also is facing charges again for what he did before when he had his knee on a young 17-year-old kidnapped. You know, these officers have a pattern of this. And if they keep getting away with it, if we don't, you know, make sure that we get up out of here, they're going to do it to your son or your brother. Or, you know, we all know people who've been wrongfully convicted. That's big in the black community. So, you know, it's time to represent and to stand up like that sister who was the officer who said, nah, I'm not standing with y'all.
Right.
You know,
Okay,
she was an example. Let's follow that lead. Let's have the kind of, you know, courage that she had to go against the grain in such a strong fraternal type of organization as the police.
And that's a sister. A lot of brothers wouldn't have done that. You did.
That she got balls.
Okay.
She got balls that most of y'all who is going to sit there and hear all this shit and don't do nothing. So,
well, we definitely wish you success and victory, you know, in your endeavors, as this case, you know, as pertains to this case. Let me switch gears a little bit.
Yes, sir.
If you don't mind.
Yeah, now we can go on to other things.
Yes,
you know?
that's that
Let's
I'm
talk
getting
about,
ready to do.
you know, because, you know, I feel really good now, especially since I finally got the lawsuit off the ground.
Right.
And, you know, I feel like a lot has been lifted off of me, you know, in terms of that. It feels so much better just to have that motion and the movement and people helping me who are really dedicated to civil rights and stuff like that. So, yeah, man, it takes a lot off of me to know I got a good team representing now. You know what I'm saying? So
let me
let's move on to something else.
Wu-Tang Clan American Saga.
Yes, sir.
Have you seen that series?
I've seen it.
What do you think about it?
It's cool. You know, of course, a lot of it is you know, embellished and
right, of course, but and especially as somebody who's lived it and seen the behind the scenes, I really want to know, get your take on it. How do you like the characters? Who's playing who?
How they don't like the way they're portrayed.
What's that?
I've seen brothers come out and say they don't necessarily like the way they was portrayed.
Right.
And of course, you know, it's Hollywood, you know.
Mm-hmm.
There's Hollywood. They're going to embellish. They're going to add a little extra stuff in there, make it a little more, you know, try to make it more, when, to tell the truth, it's not really necessary, in my opinion.
Right.
You could just tell, but, you know, maybe, you know, it is what it is. It's all good. I mean, it's good to have something like that, you know, because it's a given. They tell you this is, you know, this is based on the truth, but this is not exactly the way it happened. And so, you know, that, and just for Wu, it feels like the Wu stock is up now, you know. A lot of the to me, I feel like the whole classical hip hop generation is up. Stocks is up. All of our stocks is up right now. You know, we're being given our flowers now, which is beautiful, and it's good to see a show like that. But it's, you know, you gotta know that it's not exactly the way things happen.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
I'm on a campaign actually where I would like to, for the third, and I think is going to be their final season, I would like to be cast, and I'm just guessing, but I would like to be cast as Papa Wu. Peace to the God of freedom. Rest in peace to the God of freedom.
Yo, Lord, that sound like something that makes sense.
Come on, this is what I'm telling you, God. That's like, and that's why I'm throwing it in the universe. You know what I mean? And seeing what can happen with that. You know what I mean? Yeah. I had an opportunity to audition for some like lesser roles on there. I was like, now Cypher, I don't want to do that shit. Like, I want to be Papa Wu. And like at the time that I said that, Papa Wu was still alive. And they said, nope, Papa Wu's gonna be Papa Wu. And I was like,
you know what? I'll put the kite in the air, but you know,
God, if you could do that, that'd be great.
Huh? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I've done a couple, you know what I mean? A couple of times where I've got on here and I've put it out into the universe. But yeah, if you could, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. I definitely put that kite
Papa Wu fedoras and all that. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Where's Bun, guy? We'll get on some Papa Wu shit, guy. Where's Bun, guy?
Yeah, Lord, and you know, I know the history.
I mean, the guy was on my album, guy.
Yeah, Lord, you know the gods know your history. We know your history with Papa Wu. That's why.
This is why I need to be Papa Wu, guy. Ain't nobody else gonna do that better, guy.
Yes, sir.
Where's Bun, guy?
Oh, you're killing it, Lord.
Where is Bone guy?
Word. You know, I co-sign that. I definitely co-sign that.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let him know. Let him know. Lord Jamar is Papa Wu. Come on.
A little agua. Got my big ass gallon of water.
So first of all, like tell the people your story really. Like where you from? You know what I mean? What's your beginnings?
I was born in Bed-Stuy. I was raised in East New York. A lot of the brothers in the clan, you know, they originally from Brooklyn and East New York, Brownsville area.
And we're talking about like dirty,
like
RZA.
You know, that's why you hear Ray say, then we moved to Shaolin Lane.
Right.
You know, Deck used to live in East New York. It's a lot, you know, a lot of brothers used to, you know, it's a lot of history with Brooklyn.
Okay, I thought Deck was always
no, he got a little history too.
Okay.
He got a little history too. So and Master Killer, you know, he lived like right down the block around the corner from me. You know, I pretty much brought him into the site.
And what part of Brooklyn is this guy?
East New York.
East New York.
East New York.
Okay.
Right where you came to with my old earth.
Right.
Ra used to live right across the street. And actually, Master Killer cousin lived directly across the street from me. So even though he lived down the block around the corner, his cousin was like my big brother too.
Right.
He lived right across it, directly in front of my house. It was his house. So, you know, we all got a lot of history, you know, from coming up real young and, you know.
So that's how you first connected, just growing up in the neighborhood with a lot of Brooklyn Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
So when did you start fucking with hip hop and shit like that?
I remember going on a family reunion, one of my family reunions down south, and we would have the bus. You know, every year we would have it in a different state because we had chapters. And when it was down south, my cousins from Queens, they had the Cold Crush tapes and the, you know, Harlem World tapes. And when I first heard them shits,
you
bro,
was like,
yo,
what the fuck?
What the fuck? I'm like, yo, can I please get a copy?
Please.
So he made me a copy, and that was it. And I was
and that made you one of the coolest niggas around your way when you brought that shit back around the way.
You brought it around the way. Now everybody's like, where you get this from? To this day, I still know Grandmaster Caz rhymes by heart, bro.
Same here, bro. I had Caz on the show. And we did I recited Yvette for him.
Well, how about this? I'm super bad like the dad that you wish you had. When I get glad, you get mad and your girl gets sad. Your best friend to the end, never scared to lend, but recommend that you send back them ends I lend. The bell chime when I rhyme each and every time, cause I'm right like the Sprite with the lemon and lime. Never steal cause I feel that I'm a big whale, and any deal that I seal has got to be real. Take a look, call it cook, and take a good look. Throw the book at the crook who just got took, but make way for the Romay of foreplay, because the Caz rock the best in the USA. Now that I used to take Caz styles and make my own rhymes with those same.
I was just gonna say, like True Master rhymes and all that, like True Master.
A lot of people don't know how ill I can get.
I was just gonna say, the True Master got rhymes. Like, let me find out.
Yo, Jay, I was originally a MC and was rhyming with the Clan.
Speak on it, God. Speak on it, God. So, because like I like to ask people. So you went from Cold Crush, because it sounds like we definitely in a similar. I might be a little bit older than you, but we right in the similar slot. We might be the same age. I'm not sure.
I'll be 53 this year.
Okay, I am 53 right now.
Okay, so you'll be 54 this year?
Yes.
Okay, so you're 1 year older than me. Okay. Yeah,
so
I'll be 53.
Okay. So there's that point where you're like a fucking fan, and then you transition into being a participant. You love it so much that you want to do it now. When was that for you? And what happened? How did that happen? Thank you, Vicious People. Said, great show, brothers. Thanks for teaching law, teaching of law.
It was first, I got one of those little Casio SK samplers that only had 1 second with 4 pads. And And of course,
Shit,
I
I
would do
probably
the
wish
pause
I would have
tapes.
had.
I would do the pause tapes.
I did the pause tapes. Yep.
And I would listen to Mr. Magic and Red Alert.
Same here.
Record them joints.
Supreme Team.
And I would also start going through all of the old records in the house like we all had.
Mm-hmm.
And I would start finding stuff. And every time I find something and pause it, next thing I know, I hear it on the radio.
Mm.
Damn, they beat me to the punch. So now I'm like, yo, I gotta hurry up and get something out.
I gotta hurry up. Yep.
Yeah, Lord. So you know, I heard about a studio downtown and I went to it. Oh, at that time also, me and Guru was real tight, man. Guru.
Wait, are you a Virgo guy?
Me?
Yeah.
Now it's like I'm actually a Scorpio.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not your typical Scorpio. I got a lot of different, you know, I looked at my chart and they got like I got a lot of Libra. They say I got more Libra in my chart. Like I got Libra rising and I got Libra, all kind of planets in Libra. And so I got a lot of planets in Libra, you know, including Venus, which is at home in Libra, Jupiter in Libra, etc. And Jupiter in Libra is what gives me a lot of good fortune, a lot of luck. It's because I'm, you know, what you see is what you get. I'm true. My name is True. I don't like lies. I don't like liars. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So I used to mess with Guru a lot, and there was the studio downtown.
You said Guru?
Guru from Gangstar.
Okay.
Because you know I'm really part of Gangstar Foundation too, Lord. Indeed, so yes, sir.
So you dropping some science right now, guys.
Yes,
you dropping some things we didn't know.
The first song ever released was through Guru.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my brother right there. Premier, you know, that's my man. If you listen to the RZA and Premier battle, RZA talks about how he first met Premier through me. You know what I'm saying? And bringing Premier to their house. I mean, bringing RZA to Guru and Premier house before it was Wu-Tang and, you know, stuff like that. So me and Guru had a very, very, very tight friendship, man. And they know, you know what I'm saying? Me and Guru that was my bro. And so he was using the studio downtown. This dude named Slow-Mo. And that was right around the corner from the firehouse. And I would go there and take my records. At that time, we would just take
Slow-Mo sound familiar. I feel like I know Slow-Mo.
Slow-Mo had the spot. I used to see everybody in Slow-Mo studio. I thought that was, you know, the place to be. I'd be going in, somebody would be coming out. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. I'm coming out, somebody coming in. You know, I would see brothers like Lord Finesse. And of course, Guru worked there too. And one day I called there and Shlomo was booked. And he said, yo, call my friend around the corner, Urim. He has a studio called the Firehouse inside of an old firehouse. Remember it was in a firehouse? So then I went around the corner. I met Shlomo and I met Urim and I actually liked Urim's spot better because it had more character. It was in a firehouse. You know what I'm saying? And it was cool. That's where RZA and them recorded Protect Your Neck. And yeah, I was in the studio that night, but I came late. I came a little later after it was already recorded. Because I lived right up the block. I had a little honey in downtown Brooklyn on Henry Street. So eventually I could just walk there. And I would be in there I had made like a whole album. I had a deal on the table with Mercury. Mel Quan used to manage me, Jizza, and RZA. And
what's your name? Were you True Master? Was that your name?
No, at that time, I was known as King Shabazz.
King Shabazz.
So, you know, it was funny. I saw Mike Tyson recently say that name. He said, you know, I thought you'd have some exotic hip hop name like King Shabazz. And in my mind, I I said, this nigga just said my old name. But yeah, that was my that was my attribute back then. Initially, my name was Dark Kim Shabazz when I first got knowledge. And then my older cousin, because I got knowledge through my cousin Tubar, a master Tubar out then. But then my other cousin Ken Do, he was like, God, it's time for you to change your name from Dark Kim to King Shabazz, because you grown now, you're a king. And I started using that name, and then eventually I chose the name True Master. So I felt like it fit me a little more. So, and at the time I had never heard it before, and I wanted something I'd never heard.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I picked that name, and I dropped one song with that name. Who's the Truest MC?
Is this something we can find online if people look
sir.
for
You
it?
go online right now.
Okay.
Truest MC.
Do it, y'all. Everybody in the chat
like,
right now.
Truest MC?
Who's the Truest MC by King Shabazz? Is that what we're looking for?
Nah, by True Master.
Oh, by True Master. Let me find out. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Who's the Truest MC by True Master? We're gonna find that.
Classic. It's a cult classic. It was
it's a cult classic.
Radio. When Guru put it out, remember Gavin?
I wonder if I've heard it before.
It's a
because
banger.
I used to listen to a lot of just hip hop radio back in the days.
I'm gonna have some fun with it. I'm gonna start rhyming again. You know what I'm saying? I just did a joint with Aguilar. Me and him rhyming on one of his joints.
Oh shit!
And, it's a nice joint. I think it's banging, Lord. Oof. Ooh. So I'm having fun.
Master Official, you got a video for the bitch and all of that?
I got a video for Who's the Truest. I had decided to fall back, so Guru helped me do the video, but then I never put it out. And then I put it out a few years ago on the anniversary of his death. So I leaked it. People had heard the song, but they never saw the video. Now you can actually see the video that was made way back then.
I see it right here, right now.
Yes, sir.
We should. Nobody put this out, right? This is not on a major label, right?
Well, it was on Payday Records, and it was on a compilation with M.O.P., Bahamadia, J. Rue the Damager. A lot of people was on there. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying, because if I was wondering if I play it, I don't, they'll fuck around and flag me, and you know what I mean? All that dumb shit.
Nah, play
it. They be on some bullshit.
Or just put a link in the description. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a bang up. A lot of people love it.
Check it. This is the 25th anniversary.
Hang on. Oh, it's like what you made a video, what you talking or something about? You said
nah, I'm just talking, and then this video gonna start in a little bit. You can just move forward, fast forward it, past me talking, and then the video starts.
I see it right here. All right, hold up. We're gonna play some of this right here. The world premiere. Or the Godcast premiere.
Yes, sir.
True Master video for Who's the Truest. We didn't even know that God rhyme. Wait, now did you do the beat too? Did you do the beat?
Yes, I did the beat. There's no samples. I'm playing the whole thing on the little keyboard.
Okay.
Oh, it's a sample. The drum is tramp drums on there.
Okay, let me I'm gonna mute my mic so it doesn't have double echo and shit. And yeah, here we go.
One last time, who's the master?
Truest MC, yeah, who be truest MC? Who is truest MC? Yeah, who be truest MC? Who is truest MC? Yeah, who be truest MC? Who is truest MC? Stereo mic the master. Technique. I clutch the mic tight, side to right, and ignite the light out the dark. Spark the number in the best part of the rap game. The rap name is the True Master. I'll blast in the MC wow to come against my extra ill, versatile sound that came back from the old to the new, and now I be the master. It's the S-H-A all the way I stay in the room. So my sound's about the room cars, imperial material, mandatory. Unlike whack corny MCs before me, and now it's the time for the true light to shine in the darkest hour. It's all the dark force, the dark source of the light. The darkness, the first spark I ignite and resurrect that which fell from grace to occupy the lowest place in time and space. That shall be reborn into the most high form from the ashes to begin to remember and flashes. Let's go deep into your darkest mental chamber and confront your darkest, strangest anger, and then convert that anger to light and power in the darkest hour of the night. The harder that a ball is thrown down, the higher it bounces. 7.5 other ounces of mental that comprise the holy temple of soul. I'm in control. Seven truest MC. Yeah. It will be truest MC. Who is truest MC? Yeah, who be truest MC? Who is truest MC? Yeah, who be the truest MC? Who is truest MC?
What do you think, Lord?
Yo, all right, God, all right.
Sure.
I mean, that should definitely sound like some early Wu-Tang shit. Like,
Yo, Lord, listen. Here's a jewel a lot of people don't know. My name, I was the original Master Killer. Now, I bought Master Killer in, and then I fell back and said, you right. Now,
you
that's
was
some
the
shit, that's a
original
jewel a lot of
Master
people
Killer.
never heard. That's a little history. Only there's in to know that. Sir.
Yeah, I definitely could. I mean, you sound like you right in the pocket of that whole Wu-Tang,
Yes, sir.
RZA, Jizza. Like you sound, man. It's funny how I guess the way because y'all came up together, man. Just a lot of y'all have that same kind of speech pattern or some shit.
Well, you know what it was is you around brothers, you all rhyming together, and it starts. It's like people that hang out together all the time. Y'all say the same things. Y'all have the same way of saying the same things.
True indeed.
Y'all think, sometimes you don't even gotta say nothing. Everybody is in the same accord.
Right.
You've just been around each other for so long. Even with the production, it starts sounding like, you know what I'm saying? Or sometimes it'd be like, I might play a beat, RZA go, yo, I made a beat with that same bass. That's blind. And he played it. I remember I made a beat with a bass line that was completely off. Like, Super Ninjas on Kappa album. It was like da dum dum, da dum da dum da dum, like the beat, like the bass is stumbling.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And RZA was like, "Yo, that stumble bass line, I did the same thing, huh?" I said, "Oh, it's the mind. We, you know what I'm saying? The frequency."
Yep.
He went and pulled this shit out with the same fucking. I said,
crazy.
Crazy.
And no way
you know,
either
this
one
happened
heard the
multiple
other
times.
one and no shit like that.
Yo, one time, right? Raw was working when they was working on the W. I ain't on the W, but I was supposed to be on the W. Now check this out. They went out to Cali to record it before. Like I didn't go out there right away. I went out there later. So I get to the mansion, and I just hook up the joint, and I'm just playing beats while niggas shooting pool, playing ping pong, watching whatever. And RZA runs out the room and go, yo, God, this is unbelievable. He said, yo, I made a song with that same sample, and then the disc broke. The disc got corrupted. And niggas will tell you for the last week and a half, I've been going to different computer technicians trying to get them to get the fucking files off of this corrupted disc. Because you can't, you can't do the same thing twice sometimes. I come through with the same shit, and he like, this is bugging me out. I've been trying to get this shit off the thing. So I go to the studio, I laid the shit down, everybody rhymed on it, but I don't know what happened. It never got on the album. That happens a lot sometimes, it'd be extra shit or whatever. But that was another example, sometimes it'd be like we just be in the same chamber or whatever. And like I said, you be around people, that's how the styles and everything starts to rub off on each other.
Let me ask you, we mentioned rest in peace. You said that you were close with Guru, right?
Yes.
I want to know how you feel about, the circumstances around when he passed, and if you know anything about this guy Solar and all of that type of shit.
Solar is a very strange kind of character.
Yes.
He seems like, he seems opportunistic, and he seems like I don't know the brother like that. I met him before.
I've met him too, but I don't know him. You understand?
I don't know him like that. No, I don't know him like that. And so
but yeah, what's your feeling on the whole? Because there was a lot of weirdo shit going on.
Yeah, a lot of weirdo shit, man. A lot of shit that don't make like a lot of weirdo shit. That's all you can call it.
Right.
We just know a lot of shit just didn't seem weird. Like, where the fuck is this weird shit coming from?
You're suddenly like in charge, and you're denying family members to see him.
Yeah, like
what kind of weirdo shit is this? Like,
yeah, like what are you, a fucking? And I was surprised that even when Guru was still alive, that he was fucking with him to such an extent.
Right.
It just that was weird to me. What the fuck you doing with this dude like that? You know what I'm saying? Guru was my man. Whenever Guru used to go out of town, he used to come get me. I'd drive him to the airport. He'd be like, yo, take the whip. He used to give me gas money. Like, Guru was, yo, he used to hold me down. Really good dude. And I was shocked that you letting a dude where does this dude come from?
Where does this dude come from?
Like, we all had a history, you know what I'm saying? I remember when Guru and Premier used to live in a studio apartment. You know what I'm saying? And it got to the point where the dancers and shit needed a place to stay for a short period. They let the dancers stay there for like, I think a couple of weeks or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And Guru was just a really good-hearted dude, but the dude Solar, I don't know that seemed a little weird to me. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's all that.
This is not that. Somebody said Solar was French. That's not the same Solar. This is a different Solar.
What somebody said Solar was what?
Was French. That's MC Solar, the French MC. That's a whole different Solar. It's not
Oh,
the
I didn't
same
know that.
Solar.
Sometimes I get confused with that.
Yeah, it's not the same guy. It's two different people.
Okay.
Yeah, so don't be mad at the guy, the French guy Solar. This is not him. This is somebody else. And this guy has kind of dropped off the. You ain't seen him no more since then. You know what I mean? Because people was tight. People was like, man, I see this dude.
Because nobody wasn't really feeling him like that.
That's what I'm saying. Motherfuckers ready to beat the shit out of his ass. Like the shit they heard, you know what I mean, that he was doing upon the God's passing. Yeah, I was just wondering, you know what I mean?
Yeah, creating confusion and shit.
Said that was your brother if you had any take on that fucking clown ass nigga.
Nah, I don't know about that clown ass dude, man. But I'm glad he know how. I know I'm glad he know that he need to stay out the way. You know what I mean? Now he knows. Right. Let me get lost somewhere.
Let me get lost some fucking way.
You know what I mean?
So what you doing? You still fuck with beats and shit? And if so,
definitely, Lord, I got some shit coming for y'all.
What are you working with? What's the machine you're working with right now?
Right now I got the Ableton Live.
Ableton Live. Okay.
Ableton Live. And when I first got it, I was like, what is this? I want mine Sonic. You know, I'm trying to looking around, I'm asking people online, trying to find one. And I'm getting taken on wild goose chases. People got fucked up and shit that don't work. Just all kind of shit, and I can't find them. Then I really started to really study the Ableton, and it is an awesome machine.
Awesome
machine.
What are you using now? I don't use. My brother likes to use that, but what are you using as a controller for it?
I use that as my main controller.
So what I'm saying, you're using Ableton Live, but what are you doing to hit pads or anything like that? Or you're just doing it all like mouse and shit, like keyboards and shit?
Well,
because they have controllers for, the Ableton.
Oh, you got MIDI controllers,
right?
You got MIDI controllers, so of course I got multiple MIDI controllers. You know what I'm saying? From the big ones to the little portable, the MK Mini.
Right.
Like I just came back from New York. Of course, I throw that in my little bag to take the Mini with me as a controller.
Right.
But for the most part, if you nice, you could get busy on them pads.
Right.
You don't even need a controller.
Right.
But I use that as my main hub. Like everything. Sometimes I'll even I bought the Yamaha Mo DX. I bought the 8, the big one, and that's like all Yamaha keyboards in one. All of them, tons of sounds, and with that, you know what I'm saying. Sometimes I just play live right into the Ableton with that. I might do my drums on there, then I might play something. But I was really happy to finally figure out how to use the sampler on there and start doing my chop technique.
Right.
I'm getting busy on it now. I can speak the EPS, like I can say things I want to say on the EPS in that language now. So now my thoughts, the way I think is EPS. Now I'm able to think into the Ableton and do what I want to do that I can do on the EPS on the Ableton, which means it's problems now.
Right, but yet the Ableton is more powerful.
The only thing is, it's a lot. It's more. It's not as warm as the Insonic. It's real icy. You gotta do things to try to get that warm analogness back. It's kind of ironic that we want that now because it's so digital now. But I still think it's an amazing machine, and I got some bangers on there. Definitely got some bangers.
And you said you got music coming. Thank you, Genesis. He said, "Peace. Can we hear DMT you did with Priest, please?"
Oh well, yeah, I did an album with Priest last year called Divine Intervention. That's an awesome album. I think it's a classic. But when I made that album, I hadn't really learned how to sample on the Ableton yet, so it's no samples on it. But it's banging though.
Right.
It's, yo, that album is like, you know, I love that album.
Matter of fact, hold up. Let me give credit where credit is due, because now I'm remembering this. You are the one who taught me how to play chords.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you.
You taught me how to play chords.
Thank you, Lord. You know, I learned from my friend. I used to be in I was in an IGC program with a bunch of genius kids when I was little. Me and my sister was like, you know, we both got skipped when we was little, and we was real smart. And it was this dude in there. Everybody had their own little thing. He was a piano impresario dude. And he taught me the basics of the chords in such a way that it made sense. And then when I started using mathematics and I started understanding, it was like
was like 3-4-3, God.
3-4-3.
When you showed me that 3-4-3, that opened up a whole world for me. And it was like you could do it from anywhere, God.
3-4-3 is minor chords.
You said what?
4-3-4 is major and 3-4-3 is minor. Now, check this out. If you look at the way the piano is laid out, it's in the key, all of the white keys, right, are the key of C. So it shows you the progression of the chords it's showing you, it's like C, this is it. So that's why the piano, it begins in the key of C and it ends in the key of C. And if you play only on the white keys, you'll be in the key of C. Now, the key of C is showing you with the black keys in between the white keys, the progression of the scale. One note is 2 steps. So when you start in the key of C, that first white note got 3 black keys like right there. So it's the white keys and then it's 3 black keys right here. So now think, since you're on the key of C, the first key is C, the next white key is D, the next white key is E, the next white key is F, the next white key is G, the next white key is A, B, C, back to C. Now, what it's showing you, let me see if I should go get my little mini. God, I'll show you some shit. You'll be a mess.
I'm looking at a keyboard. I have a keyboard in front of me right now.
Okay, now look at the way. Look at the way as you progressed from each white key to the next. There were 2 spaces until you got to the 4th key, and then it was a half a note with no black key in the middle. You see it?
Yeah.
Now, so that's showing you that the progression is 3.
So there's the 3. You're saying the 3 keys, then there's that space, then there's the 2 keys.
So look, yo, God, let me run and get my thing. I'm gonna show you something, God.
Please.
Give me 1 second, okay?
Go ahead. Yeah. Yo, this is my guy. Like, first of all, I've been doing 3-4-3 for years. Now he's telling me 4-3-4 is the major. I've been doing the minor chords for a long time. Yeah, he showed me that shit, man. True Master showed me that he is a true master. He's just fucking smart guy. Y'all getting ready to learn something. If y'all fuck with beats and shit like that, pull out your fucking pull out your pens and pads and shit. He getting ready to put us up on game. Matter of fact, I think I might go get a coffee while we wait. I'll play Oh no. Okay, he's back.
Okay, back. And this is
All right.
funny, God, because I went to get my mini and I realized it's black on black.
Oh shit.
but I like black.
Right.
But here's what I'm gonna show you. If you look, right? I
Yeah.
can show you with this too, because I bought the bigger one.
Okay. Yeah. That
Maybe I
works
should
better
so
for the
you can see
camera. That
clearer.
works better for the camera.
Now look. Okay. This is a C.
Okay.
C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C.
Well, C, D, E, F, G, and then A, B, C. Okay, gotcha.
7 notes to a scale.
Copy.
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. Back to do. That is the
Right.
eighth.
God notes to a scale. Uh-huh.
God notes to a scale. Build or destroy brings you back to the 1, and that's why it's called the higher octave. This is C. This is 1 octave higher C.
Copy.
1/8.
It's all repeating itself once it gets back to that.
Right.
It's all repeating itself.
Now, keep this in mind.
Mm-hmm.
When you see here, you notice that there are two black keys in between these. So it's 1, 2, 3, half. You get it?
Right.
There's no black here.
Right.
A whole note takes 2 steps, which means to get from C to D, you had to have 2 steps. You had to go like it's 1, 2, 1, 2, but 1 half.
Right.
So it's 3 and a half, and then 3 and another half.
Okay.
So it's 3 and a half, and this progression of 2 spaces between a note is how you, like, let's say if you want to play in the key of D, which is here.
Right.
The first, it goes 1, 2, 3, half. You get it?
Yes. Okay.
Now you get it? Because you got to do 2 spaces. So D goes, the key of D is bang, 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 half, 1, 2, 3, half.
Mm.
You seen that, Lord?
Yes.
Now the key of E will be this. Look. C, D, E. They go boom, 2, 3, half. 1, 2, 3, half. You get it?
Right.
So it's 3
wait, you're
and a
going
half,
3
3 and a
steps
half
from right.
This key of C showed you how to see the progression of the scale. You see?
Yeah. See, I never knew how to like look at the shit and know what key I'm pressing by just looking at it. You just uncoded that for me. Like I'd always have to like look at the fucking, press it and then look at the computer and then, oh, okay, yeah, that's a C. That's a fucking G or whatever.
Like I said, it begins in C, it ends in C, and it shows you in this, the white note shows you the progression of the scale. There's a 2 note for each note, a 2 step for each note.
So what's
right?
the difference of a sharp? What's the sharp?
For the first 3 notes, and then there's a half note step. There's a half.
So the C and the C sharp, with the sharp is the black notes?
A sharp is just 1 key ahead, and a flat is 1 key behind. So for a D, this would be a D flat, and this would be a D sharp. You get it? So a sharp is just one step higher, not a whole note, because a note is 2 steps. 1 step higher, 1/2 a step is a sharp.
Right.
1 down. So let's say in the key of A, right? This is A sharp and this is A flat. It's relative. But it's very simple principles, and since you're dealing with a sequencer, you could take your time and lay shit down and sound like whomever.
Right. Exactly. And that's what
I wanted to teach. I wanted to do something like that on the podcast, but you my brother, so it's all love, Lord. This is this is a way, God. We're gonna build, because I'm gonna show you how you could really get busy and start.
Yeah.
And it's not hard, Lord. You could take your time and lay stuff down and layer it in your own good time.
Right.
So
definitely, God. Definitely. Oh, yo.
That's why, Lord, I've been playing. When you listen to Fish, God, I'm playing all that.
You said what?
When you listen to something like Fish, I'm playing the samples.
Right.
You know, I take a little note and I like to try to create some kind of melody like Brooklyn Zoo and all that. It's like really, I try to get musical with it.
Yeah, God.
You know, all praises due. I learned from my man, gave me some jewels, and then I started looking at it and seeing the more patterns of it and incorporating my own understanding of mathematics with it so I could explain it in a very simple way.
Right. And
You know
that's what people need, you know, because that all of that keyboard shit look mad like
it look complicated
and shit. But the way you break it
this
down,
is the science. Like I said, the key of C, which is all of the white keys, is showing you how the progression goes.
And you're saying the C is the white, all the white keys you're saying is the key of C.
If you were to play in the key of C, you would only play, you could just play on these white notes and everything will sound in key because it'll be in the key of C.
Right. Got you.
That's the simplistic way to see the progression of the scales. Key of C.
Jules, come on, man. Y'all getting a fucking master class right now and shit for free.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Fucking kidding me? Shit. So yeah, so you said you're working with Ableton right now, and you got
I'm working on Ableton. Me and Cap working on an album called The Illage. You remember his Pillage album?
Mm-hmm.
So we can't really come with The Illage. And I want to do a social and criminal justice reform album. You know, and get a lot of people. I've been asking people, and everybody seems to be down to get. I would love you to get on that.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? You know, maybe we could make a beat together and rhyme together, Lord.
Oh man,
you know,
that'd be
get it done.
That'd be dope.
We collaborate and then hit them with, you know, the 1-2.
Hell yeah, I've been fucking with this MPCX and shit. That's my shit right now. Shit that I've been fucking with.
The MPCX is really like the Ableton. It's just a preference of, you know, it's more of a classic machine in my opinion, of course.
Right. I mean, I always was an MPC guy. I diverted and was fucking with Machine for a second. But then I came back home and shit. Now I'm back with MPC again.
I actually went and bought the Machine before the Ableton, right? And then my man had wanted to get it. So I tried to get something different. I didn't want to get the same thing. So I went back and then I changed it for the Ableton. But initially I was getting the Machine, then I wanted to get the Ableton. Then he wound up getting the Ableton anyway, but it's all good.
Right.
But the Machine was actually my first choice. I bought that home, and then like the next day I went back, I took it back. And I started looking at the Ableton. I was like, all right, let me get that. And I'm glad I did. This amazing machine. And once I learned how to sample on it, it's like a whole, Lord, I'm getting busy and busy on there. You know, so I'm trying to get brothers, you know, I'm also trying to do a few joints, see if I can put together a little Wu project real quick. Because this is the 25th anniversary of Wu-Tang Forever. And so I want to try to, like, you know, put out another project or something.
Yeah, that'll be dope, God. That'll be dope. Shit, I had Ray on my album. I had Riz on my album. Papa Wu. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what it needs, God?
It
need a 5% album part 2, God.
You know, a lot of people say that. A lot of people say that, man.
We need that, God. We need that.
I would need like, I need all the gods that I wanted originally.
On that, God.
Huh?
I'm with you. I help you. Anything you need me to do on that, I'm rocking.
Man, I need Rakim on that motherfucker, man.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? Like Rakim gotta be on that. Like,
yeah, indeed.
If we did some shit like that.
Yeah. Yo, G, I got some joints, man. You know, sometimes I make joints and I put them to the side, like, you know, case of emergency.
Right. Break the glass and
yeah,
get
case
these
of emergency, you know.
Yeah.
So you know, I got a few in the stash. You know.
All right, well, let's build, God, because you know,
indeed so.
my sword is still sharp.
Indeed, Lord, you're a legend, God. You are an icon.
Yeah,
you know,
God.
You are one of our statesmen, elder statesmen.
Yeah, appreciate it,
We
God.
love you, God. We love
Thank
what
you,
you're
God.
doing. You know, been long time subscribed to this channel. Always tune in. You know, I like what you and Godfrey and the Queen have put together, man. It's a beautiful thing.
I appreciate
I wish Godfrey
it.
could have tuned in because he's a Wu-Tang fan.
I know.
But we can get the bill. And Godfrey, if you can, Godfrey, I'm asking everybody with huge followers, post one of my little things. The next few days, you might see me do another post about the petition to get this officer fired. We really need to.
Right.
We really need to get that popping. You know, I got everybody's on deck. Over the next couple of days, a lot of people were already committed to making posts, and I'm glad to see brothers is doing it. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely make sure you text me the links and all that.
I'll do that right away.
And all that. And yeah, what we usually do is after this, it goes unlisted on here, put it on Patreon, and we cut up the shit and make episodes out of it. So it'll be, you know, it'll get more run than just one
Okay.
shit. Yeah.
Well, thanks for having me, Lord. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for coming through, God. I definitely appreciate it, man. Love you. I'm glad to see you that you back out here in the world, man, and that you're using your intelligence, you know, your courage and your, you know, your fortitude as a man.
For the young ones, Lord. We got to set examples. Let them know it can be done.
You got, and see, everything's about a frame of reference. You see how you pulled out the keyboard so that I'd have a frame of reference of what you were talking about. So you have to give people a frame of reference of what freedom looks like, what rebellion
look at the words you said, God, and look at what they did to me.
Frame.
I was a frame. They framed me, but it's a reference for you. So it's a frame of reference. Use it as a frame of reference.
Use it as a frame of reference. We profound, God. Yo, peace to the God.
Peace,
come back anytime, God, and definitely let's stay in touch and you know what I mean? Let's make some things happen in the new year.
Guaranteed. Facts.
All right, God.
Peace, Almighty.
Peace. There you have it. Peace to the Railroad Tracks. He said, salute, just tapping in from Chicago. Railroad Tracks Music Academy. That's what it is. Thank you, people at Railroad Tracks. Oh, man. I hope you enjoyed. Hope you got some information. I hope you realize that we're dealing with some dirty motherfuckers out here, and they will go through a lot of lengths to, you know, to railroad you if that's what they so choose to do. But always stay strong. Use your knowledge, wisdom, your understanding, you know, to enter into any and all ciphers armed with the truth. And the truth will set you free. All right, y'all. Rabbi, okay. You switched your shit up, huh? You took your government off of there, huh? I see you. All right, I'll see you in a few. Get the fucking PUBG ready, man. Get the motherfucking the motherfucking the rank ready, man. We running some rank games, man. Let's go. All right, y'all. I appreciate everybody that donated tonight. If you didn't click the like button, make sure you click that like button before you leave. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, then make sure you do so now. Click that notification bell and click all so you know that when we got joints dropping and popping and all of that type of shit. I'll be back next week, you know, with another guest, some more What You Think, Lord. I know a lot of fucking bullshit is gonna go on. Between now and then. So it's all good. We'll cover it. We'll talk about it. We'll break it down as only the God can. I appreciate y'all once again for coming through. Once again, thanks to my guest, True Master, for coming through and dropping jewels. Peace to my Godcast family. I am Lord Jamar, and I'm out. Peace.